Hi, I'm Stefania Soldini from the University of Liverpool. I'm assistant professor in the aerospace division. And today I would like to talk about the effect and the role of the internal mass structure on dynamical simulations. So considering a specific sphere packing plus the density distribution, we can define the internal structure model of asteroids and feed this as initial condition for SPH hydrocode for impact dynamics, or feed this in gravity models like MASCONS to find stoke coefficient comparable then to the measurements, or for then, once we have this high order gravity field information, to study the close proximity dynamics, which involves placing ourselves in a reference frame fixed with the asteroid, rotating with the same angular velocity of the spin axis rotation. And by finding the location where acceleration and velocity are zero, by linearizing the equation above of the dynamics, we can find special locations where potentially a particle could be trapped around an asteroid. So these are equilibrium points, which can be calculated with an algebraic set of the equation, which we derive in our journal publication. And then we can feed this in the equation we wrote for computing the center manifold, so basically the periodic orbits. Now, this is basically what is important in orbital dynamics, is understanding what are the possible natural motion that exist around an asteroid. So the first stoke coefficient are used usually to compare model and to fit the observation, while the dynamical object actually give us an information on the nature of the motion. For example, how easy is to land, how easy is the part from an asteroid, how easy it is to fall off from it. So that's why are important. And so if we have a way to measure dynamical object, for example, by detecting the orbital motion, now we can feed this information back in the internal structure model for impact dynamic simulation. So that means that orbital dynamic and impact dynamic has to be consistent, and the initial structure modeling has to represent the dynamics to make sense. Now, we consider different asteroids like Itokawa with 3 density distribution, in the case body, neck, and head, body, head, and body. So the uniform usually is comparable to shape model, because shape model is defined for uniform density, and we can find the stoke coefficient. Now we can notice that the center of mass, so the stoke coefficient associated to the first order, will be different because of the moving of the location of the center of mass depending on the model assumed. But also, if we check the equilibrium point, we are capable to notice a meter of difference in the x component. So the equilibrium point as it exists a set of unique equilibrium point for each internal structure. So it is not like for the stoke coefficient that we can have different internal structure that provide the same number of stoke coefficient. The equilibrium points are quite unique, so it should actually associate it to one internal structure at a time. So being able to kind of measure those points could be quite interesting, basically. Now, the other thing I have done was using Phobos, one with considering random mixed density plus porosity, and one when I decided to use a model, just I thought by myself, like crater anomaly, which is inspired by the moon anomaly. So we can think that an external object has impact Phobos and left some material with different concentration density. And we noticed that actually, from the point of view of the stock coefficient, as I said before, the fact that we have a mixed 3-density structure or uniform, from a point of view, stock coefficient doesn't give us much information because they almost fit with very well. The only big difference is in the anomaly model. But when we look at the equilibrium point, of course, we can probably distinguish different values in the equilibrium point. Having said that, the number of MASCON is the same and consistent. So the equilibrium point change a little bit the location. Now, the tricky part has been Didymos because of is a fast rotator. And we use 3, again, uniform density and homogeneous radial distribution plus void, inspired by the work of Yu Yang et al. And in this case, we notice that the void doesn't have much effect, but this could be for how I selected the void. It's not very big and it's almost in the center of mass, so it could be that. But actually, we notice that only the coefficient of first order, so the one associated to the center of mass, have an effect. When you see MeshLab, sorry, I forgot to mention, I computed the inertial tensor in MeshLab, and I computed the second order stock coefficient with the theoretical values and compared. Now, the tricky part is we can't actually detect very well the equilibrium point inside the shape, while if we consider compared to the shape model, we totally miss one equilibrium point, as you can see, mislocated. And then we have strange thing happening, too many points in one location, some missing. This is because the potential is almost flat. So if you look at the potential along, let's say, the equilibrium point radius, it's some local minimum and maxima, same things with the other void model. And the reason for this is because our model is not valid inside the beryllium sphere like for spherical harmonics. However, Takashi et al. Have developed the interior spherical harmonic, and next step will be to look at the interior MASCON. Now, for doing this analysis with shape model, we can't have the information of density distribution. So that's why it's so important to try to solve the problem on the interior MASCONs. We also try to increase a little bit the period of rotation, like in the paper of Yu Yang, and we consistently can find 8 equilibrium points just above the surface of Didymos. The MASCON shape model and the work of Yu Yang give the same information. So yes, the problem is just when we are basically inside, not even when we are close to the surface. The major problem is when we are inside of the beryllium sphere. So as you can see, the equilibrium point works quite all right. And for what concerns Ryugu, we actually did the analysis to see between random and uniform packing same density to understand how much resolution of MASCON we need to represent, for example, the shape model. And actually, for representing the shape model, even with uniform packing, but 1,600 MASCONs, you could find a very good comparison equilibrium point with the shape model. While with random, that's not possible. So sometimes random distribution does not preserve, of course, certain symmetries. So starting the first order coefficient we measure is very important, because then we should discriminate how random should be the interior packing. And so this, you can see not much change in the stock coefficient by uniform packing, kind of giving center of mass doesn't move much. Random, yes, goes a little bit farther away. So until now, I presented the internal structure, how it has an effect on the stock coefficient and on the equilibrium point. But then we can compute periodic orbits around the equilibrium point and theoretically do the reverse work. So if we can detect periodic orbit, we can find the equilibrium point. And this is actually the formula we developed in the paper. So basically, it's very simple. Given a MASCON distribution, number of masses and density distribution, so mass distribution, just by placing the amplitude alpha 1 and alpha 2 to 0, and then the other one are free to be choosing how big you want your orbit in X and Y and Z, then you can find the center manifold, which are actually possible region where particle could be trapped. Then this feed as a first guess solution to the nonlinear dynamics, and with pseudo-arc length method we can find equilibrium, the orbit in nonlinear sense. Now this is fantastic, but without solar radiation pressure. So it's a very elegant math. When we had solar radiation pressure, it's not easy to add this into the math. So it requires a little bit more work. So for SRP, I developed Gonier 2, which is an n-body code that take into account the gravity effect of other planets, the sun, solar radiation pressure, and also in this case I use actually the gravity model from shape model. So you can add, if you have a binary system, add the other secondary asteroid as well. But in any case, this given a sort of location, let's say, where particles are ejected from impact or from natural loss of material, depends how quick those particles or this asteroid rotates. But in any case, we can observe, and there has been cases of observation of particle temporary trap around asteroids. So in this case, the question is, okay, so if this kind of temporary stability exists, then there must be some periodic orbit that are quasi-stable in a certain amount of time, and therefore try to relate that to the object we compute earlier. So this is kind of the roadmap of what I presented today, how the effect of the internal structure affect dynamics and simulation, and how having the opportunity to detect this motion even by using devices, dummy devices placed in potential equilibrium solution, or by detecting a jet particle, we can have an understanding of the internal structure. And this can be fed an information fed for also as initial in condition for the SPH hydrocode. Now the next step will be extending this for fast rotators using internal MASCON harmonics, is it possible? And also investigate what happened to the equilibrium point when solar radiation pressure is taken into account over another perturbation is taken into account, like the secondary of a binary asteroid system, and how to add SRP to the current formulation in a consistent way, because when we add SRP to the system with other perturbation, the system is no longer autonomous, so the equilibrium point will change as a type of dynamical object. So thank you for your attention, and I hope to see you soon next time in person. If you have any question, please feel free to email me and contact me, and thank you for listening to my talk.